Good evening and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando and here are your headlines for tonight.
Typhoon forces millions to evacuate in Japan. Sajid extends an invitation to the grassroots of the SLFP.
ඒ ඔබලාගෙත් අයිතිවාසිකම් සුරක්ෂා වෙන ආකාරයට ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ අනන්‍යතාවයටත් උන්නතියටත් අගතියක් නොවන ආකාරයට මම කැමති ගෙඩිය පිටින්ම ඔබලාගේ වගකීම් ගන්න.
Dengue fatalities rise to 72. 52,000 patients diagnosed with dengue. Reports reveal 328 animals belonging to the zoological department have died during 2 years.
First up in news overseas, torrential rain and tornado-like winds are lashing large parts of Japan as the country endures what could be its worst storm for 60 years.
The eye of the typhoon Hagibis made landfall shortly before 7 p.m. local time in Izu Peninsula, southwest of Tokyo. More than 7 million people have been urged to leave their homes amid severe flooding and landslide warnings. Train services have been halted and more than 1,000 flights grounded. One man was killed in Chiba, east of Tokyo, when high winds flipped his car. Thousands of homes lost power in and around the capital, though some were swiftly reconnected. 2 Rugby World Cup games, England versus France and New Zealand versus Italy, scheduled for today, have been cancelled and declared as draws. Formula 1 has also cancelled qualifying races for Saturday's Japanese Grand Prix. Japan's meteorological agency has warned half a meter of rain could fall on the Tokyo area between midday today and tomorrow. Hagibis, which means speed in the Philippine language Tagalog, is forecast to hit the main Japanese islands of Honshu. Locals stocked up on provisions before the typhoon's arrival on the authorities' advice, leaving supermarkets with empty shelves. Issuing a statement, Sri Lankan Airlines announced that its Japan-bound flights will be further delayed due to Typhoon Hagibis. Media spokesperson Deepal Pereira said all Japan-bound flights have been delayed by 7 hours. Flight UL 460, due to fly from Colombo to Narita at 7:15 p.m. today, is further delayed until 2:30 a.m. on the 13th of October. The airline said it is closely monitoring the situation and passengers are advised to contact Sri Lankan Airlines 24-hour contact center on 011 777 1979 or the travel agent for further information.
For the latest update on Typhoon Hagibis, we are now joined by Newsfirst's Pavani Hapuarachi reporting from Japan. Good evening, Pavani, and how bad is the situation in Tokyo?
It is indeed a high-risk situation here in Japan. The entire country is on high alert as Typhoon Hagibis, which is an extremely strong typhoon, made landfall in Shizuoka Prefecture, and we are receiving rainfall. It has been raining since yesterday evening, and right now we are receiving heavy rainfall and strong winds together. The Japan's meteorological agency has issued a level 5 warning, and this means a disaster has already occurred. The heavy rain emergency warning is in effect in Tokyo and 12 other prefectures. We are expecting severe rainfall as high as 1,000 millimeters. This means there's the risk of landslides, floods, as well as strong winds that could reach as high as 160 kilometers per hour. It is reported that more than 600,000 households have been asked to evacuate to emergency facilities. Now, on top of that, we had an earthquake in Chiba and Tokyo prefectures this evening, which was at 5.7. All railway operations have been cancelled and more than 1,500 flights, both domestic and international, have also been cancelled. So the situation in Japan is really bad. The government has asked the people to take every precaution possible to make sure that we are protected. Stay tuned to News First. I'm Pavani Hapuarachi reporting from Tokyo, Japan.
Thank you, Pavani, and we hope you take care of yourself as well. Continuing in now local news, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna emerged victorious in the Alpite Pradesh Sabha elections held last night by securing a majority of 17 seats out of a total of 29.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana obtained 23,372 votes, 56.31% of the total voter base in the election. Securing 7 seats, the United National Party obtained 10,113 votes, 24.37% of total votes. The United People's Freedom Alliance, led by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, obtained 5,273 votes and secured 3 seats. The Janata Vimukti Perumana obtained 2,435 votes and secured 2 seats. In the 2015 presidential election, Mahinda Rajapaksa obtained 42,015 votes from the Benthara LPT electorate, while Maithripala Sirisena obtained 28,287 votes. In the 2015 general election, the UPFA, led by Mahinda Rajapaksa, won the Benthara LPT electorate with 34,275 votes, while the UNP obtained 26,559 votes.
Now, the results of the LPT election has become the main topic dominating the political arena. Let's take a look at some of the views expressed in this regard.
The UMP failed to secure even 1 seat from this zone. This was the first step in the race to the presidential election. Seeing our victory, those in the government must have got cold feet.
This is not rocket science for anyone who knows politics and numbers. Alpetia is not a country. However, we are happy that they take pleasure by thinking so. If they are of the stance that they have won, we are happy about that as well, because we know the true picture. This is the first wave of the tsunami. The much larger one can be witnessed on the 16th of November. Our victory can be witnessed by everyone on the 16th. Well, to be honest, the Alpetia election is irrelevant to us. If the Colombo Municipal Council elections were held and we won, this will not have any impact on the presidential election. The presidential election is something completely different, with completely different candidates contesting the election. Based on data received so far, Sajit Premadasa is in the lead with approximately 53 or 54%. With the success of the Alpetia elections, we have prepared the battlefield for Gotabaya Rajapaksa and the SLPP to win the upcoming presidential election. Those who are not aware of the latest developments in the political arena try to put forward various interpretations in this regard. Such individuals are either unaware as to how their leaders comprehend this matter, or they just don't know politics.
Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna Gotabaya Rajapaksa attended a special religious program and an almsgiving in Giritale, Polonnaruwa today.
Leader of the SLPP, Mahinda Rajapaksa, also attended the occasion. I think the people are waiting until the time comes. That is what they showed at the Alpetia elections. The people were looking at the Galle-face green and laughing. Some people went there and after coming back casted their vote. This is not a local government election. We are not worried about the votes cast for the local government election. We must think about the presidential election. The chairman of the Elections Commission is waiting to see if you will say something inside the temple. Politics inside the temple has been banned. The temple belongs to you. So why can't you speak about these things inside the temple? This is the first time that this has been banned inside temples. The laws have been formulated like that. I respectfully request that you act after taking into consideration all of these laws. Venerable Theros who never got onto a political stage come here for no other reason but to fulfill our duty in this life as Venerable Theros. We only stand for our responsibilities and not for anything else. I would like to remind that. Aranyavasi Theras have not participated in these political activities. For the past 30 years, we have not even voted. But this time, I'm going to make it mandatory for even the Aranyavasa Theras to vote, and I'm going to vote myself. This is a very decisive election, and there is no room for error.
A meeting with the activists of the United National Party was held in Potuhara, Kurunegala today. Following the meeting, the General Secretary of the party expressed the following views.
We started the presidential election campaign the day before. We will continue the struggle that we started by bringing people to Colombo. Hundreds of political rallies will be conducted in the upcoming days. We will conduct various political meetings in rural areas as well.
Presidential candidates of the New Democratic Front, Minister Sajith Premadasa, attended a media briefing at the auditorium of the Colombo Public Library today.
The United National Party Balamandala meeting of the Colombo East and West electorates was chaired by Mayor of Colombo, Rosi Sena Naika today. A number of party seniors also attended the meeting. We have to decide if we will bring back a white van era or an era that will maintain the peace and democracy that we won. The security of the nation can be ensured when Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca and Sajith Premadasa are together. Many incidents took place during our era, and there are several shortcomings. We are not ashamed of admitting it. But if we need a better change, we need a president from the UNP. Sajith Premadasa has not appointed any of his family members to a government position. At this presidential election, we are not selecting between two faces, but we are choosing between two systems. We are choosing if we want a system where the presidential candidate is chosen when a family sits down for dinner. Will it be the younger brother or the elder brother? This is what you have to choose between. There is no space for nepotism in our party. I must say that Sajith Premadasa has always represented the poor and helpless people of the country. They say that we don't love the country, that the UNP is selling off the country. The UNP did not sell off the country. But if anyone has any doubt, we have Sajith Premadasa here, who is a true patriot. Fingers are pointed at the UNP for being involved in various corruption issues. But never has a finger been pointed against Sajith Premadasa or anyone around him for being involved in corruption issues. I would like to responsibly state that we will make our motherland Sri Lanka a great nation in the future. The person who will take over the country in the future should be a person who can go to the feet of the people. Controlling a country is not something that can be done through a remote controller. It cannot be controlled by your cronies. You must have the ability to go to the people, identify the issues and serve the people. I have the ability to do that and fulfill that responsibility. I go to all these electorates in the name of humanity. I will triumph over the family rule that has drained the resources of our country because of my humanity. The most important family in this country is your family, the families of the citizens of our country. Will the country be militarized? Will a military government be created? Will state-sponsored terrorism and state oppression be created? Or will you create a beautiful country?
රට තුළ මිලිටරි ආණ්ඩුවක් නිර්මාණය කරනවද? රට තුළ රාජ්‍ය භීෂණය රාජ්‍ය ත්‍රස්තවාදය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවද? සංවර්ධිත සොඳුරු දේශයක් නිර්මාණය කරනවද?
The American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka held its first series of Meet the Candidate in Colombo yesterday with presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa.
Meet the Candidate is a platform that gives the opportunity for Sri Lanka's main presidential candidates to meet with some of the largest US and Sri Lankan companies in the country.
In Sri Lanka's democratic political history, at most times, irrespective of party politics, leaders tend to surround themselves with like-minded colleagues who have a great propensity to give uncritical advice, trying to make the decision makers feel happy. So the feel-good factor is used. Don't applaud because I don't intend on doing that. So when that happens, there are obstacles to rational decision making. So you have automatically a bunch of people who will be saying, yes, yes, 3 bags will serve. Well, I can assure you there will be a wholesale change as far as the team is concerned. I believe you should have even thought of applauding after my next sentence. Because the team can be changed, but I can also substitute them with people who have gained political patronage. Not so. We shall move away from the typical aristocratic, friendship-based, personal relationship-based recruitment into key positions, and we will definitely adopt a highly advanced meritocratic approach.
The presidential candidate also spoke about Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca.
As a government, we have to look at the issue of terrorism in a very serious manner. And that's why I have decided to anoint Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, who championed the war effort, which eradicated terrorism in 2009 May. And I have tasked him with the responsibility of ensuring that there's perpetual peace and security within Sri Lankan society. So you can be rest assured that we will destroy terrorism, but we will also destroy all forms of other extremism. Extremism, xenophobia, discrimination has no place in an administration that is headed by Sajith Premadasa.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate also joined a forum in relation to issues faced by women in Colombo yesterday. A number of dignitaries, including State Minister of Finance Iran Vikramaratne, Non-Cabinet Minister of Economic Reforms and Public Distribution, Dr. Harsha De Silva, and Mayor of Colombo, Rosasena Naika, were also present at the meeting.
General Secretary of the SLFP, Dasiri Jayasekara, said that the decision made to support SLPP presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa was based on upholding the values integrity of the SLFP. He made this statement on Facebook in response to views expressed by former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga about the decision made to support Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
The General Secretary said, quote, "Under no circumstance we have compromised the very party founded by your late father, Honorable SWRD Bandaranaike," unquote. He added, quote, "In light of the policy framework and the founding principles of the party, we are not in a position to support the UNP. The policies and framework of the UNP is contrary to our party policy." He went on to note that, quote, "The present downfall of the SLFP was due to a coalition arrangement with the UNP. As a result, today our party, which was once the #1 force in the country, has downgraded to the third in a span of 5 years," unquote. The General Secretary said, quote, "I would like to mention that the Central Committee of the SLFP decided on the above decision, to which I acted as the General Secretary of the party," unquote. He also said, quote, "It is our responsibility to the people of Sri Lanka, irrespective of party and personal politics, to see a country prosper," unquote.
Meanwhile, Sajith Premadasa met with the representatives of the organization to protect the Sri Lanka Freedom Party last evening. The meeting was held at the residence of Mangala Samaravira. SLFP local government representatives attended this meeting.
මම ලෑස්ති මේ අවස්ථාවේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ සිටින
I would like to take over the responsibility of the SLFP local government representatives, ministers, candidates, organizers, district leaders, as well as all of the grassroots level supporters. I think it would be appropriate to enter into an agreement that will protect your rights and ensure that the identity of the SLFP and the future of the party can be protected. There are a total of about 7,000 to 8,000 candidates, and I'm ready to unite all of them. I want to work for the country. You have the knowledge to make the right decisions. I must regrettably say to you, my friends, that in the future, all of you will meet the same fate as Duminda Disanaika. If the group headed by Dasiri Jayasekara got onto my stage, no one would have hooted at them. I do not have any hidden agendas. I speak straight. On the other hand, I am very fond of the values of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Although the words
සංඝවේද ගුරු ගෝවිකම් කර. ඒ වචන
were not used. My father implemented similar policies.
ප්‍රතිපත්තිය. මම කැමති gediya පිටින්ම ඔබලගේ වගකීම් බාර ගන්න. මට වෙන කියන්න වචනයක් නැහැ. ඒක තමයි මට කියන්න පුළුවන්.
I don't think there is any difference between myself and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
අංශු මාත්‍රයකවත් වෙනසක් නැහැ.
දහරුවාදා දිනේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා දස්පති සුරකීමේ සංවිධානයේ විදියට ඔබතුමාත් එක්ක ඔබතුමා කිව්ව අපේ වගකීම් බාර ගැනීම පිළිබඳ යම් එකඟතාවයක් අත්සන්. රාජ්පතින්දා දවසේ ඔබතුමාගේ කැමැත්ත වන අපේ ශ්‍රීනුම ආසන සංවිධායකවරුන්, සංවිධායකවරුන් සහ සම්දේලුක අපේක්ෂකයන් 1130 ගණනක් ඉන්නේ. සියලු දෙනාටම අපි ලිපියක්. විශේෂයෙන්ම කුමාර වෙල්ගම මැතිතුමා එදා ප්‍රධානත්වය ගන්නවා. ඔහු කිව්වේ ඔහු ගස් කරපු ශ්‍රී ලංකා දස්පති සුරකින්න මෙතනට එන්න කියලා ඔහුගේ ඡායාරූපය සමග අපි සම්පූර්ණ පත්‍ර දැන්වීම ටිකක් යනවා.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂ රාල්ල දිස්ත්‍රික් පළාත්පාල මන්ත්‍රී සංසදයේ ලේකම් මහත්මයා කියනවාසල ඒකලගේ සමහර අයගේ ලොකු විරුද්ධතාවය පොහොට්ටු විරෝධී සර් 80ක් පොහොට්ටු විරෝධී. අර එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට යන්න බෑ කියන මතයයි.
අපි බොහොම අන්‍යෝන්‍ය අවබෝධයකින් යන්න ඕන. මම වගකීමෙන් කියනවා ඔබලාගේ අනන්‍යතාවය ඔබලා රැක ගන්න ඕන. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ අපි ඔබලව ගිල ගන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. ෆ්‍රන්සයන් ඒ මහා වෘක්ෂයේ එක කොටසක් ඔබතුමන්ලා.
Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Gotabaya Rajapaksa attended a campaign rally in Yatiyantota today. SLPP supporters participated in the rally held at the Vincent Pereira Stadium. The rally was held under the theme of a successful vision, a working country. Party leaders, MPs, academics and supporters of the SLPP attended the event. We have to support people in all classes of the society. 1/3 of the country's population earn their living through farming, so we definitely cannot forget agriculture. Not only should we help the farmers through the technology, we will also develop the industries that are based on agriculture. We will always trust in our human resources. Under our plan, we will invest heavily in the education sector during our first year in power to create an opportunity for all students who pass their advanced level examinations to pursue higher education. All other countries in Asia have developed tremendously. We make good use of this opportunity and develop the country, and through that we must generate a large number of job opportunities. Yesterday, the SLPP supporters in Alpitia, we had only 46%, that rose to 57%. Not only that, SLP won 12%, but the voter base of the UNP had dropped from 26 to 24%. Before the rally began, presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Gotabaya Rajapaksa visited the residence of Ranjit Siyamalapitiya. The presidential candidate of the National People's Power Movement, Anurukumar Dissanayake, met with a group of lawyers today.
The meeting, held under the theme The Lawyers' Discussion with Anurukumar Dissanayake for the Future, was attended by a number of senior lawyers.
How do we change this political culture? You have the two parties looking after themselves, looking after each other. We have not moved forward. They have not come to serve. They have come to serve themselves. Parliamentarians who have lost their independence, who have lost their objectivity. They want perks. That is another important thing, where you can reduce the perks of parliamentarians, the pensions, the number of ministries, because we don't need all it. That's the waste. So in that sense, what I think is, that is the type of change we expect from a person like Anurukumar Dissanayake.
There was a time when judges made harsh remarks against us when we said something in court. I do not have to mention names. The main reason for that was the protection that they had from the higher up. As attorneys, only we know the sufferings that we go through. A proper procedure should be established when appointing judges. Steps should be taken to make appointments based on seniority. I do not have to openly state how officials are appointed to state institutions and the Attorney General's department. It is only based on personal affiliations. The same method is implemented when appointing judges. We are experiencing the results of those actions today. The cases filed by the Attorney General's department are lost. The cases are lost not because these defendants did not steal, but they lose the case because the case has not been filed properly. There are no talented lawyers who can file a proper case today. Can someone tell me about the crimes that cannot be uncovered? All those crimes that cannot be uncovered have been committed by the government. It is easy to ask for 200 rupees to smuggle a file out of an office. But he has been pushed to that position because of the financial problems that he faces in life. But the people in high positions accumulate wealth not because they cannot live. I do not have to mention names. Ravi Karunanayaka does not steal because he has a problem with making ends meet. Basil Rajapaksa did not steal because he faced issues to teach his children or build a house or any issue like that.
The National Tree Planting Program organized by the Ministry of Mahavali Development and Environment was held in Habarana this morning. The event was held under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
Even the environment is now a part of all the corruption and irregularities. If we do analysis of the past 60 years, a majority of the natural assets of our country were destroyed by politicians. We started this program 4 years ago to enhance our country's forest density. With every government that came into power, the density of forests continued to decline. However, during the tenure of our government, it increased because of this tree planting program. People think this world belongs to them. They cut trees and destroy the environment. But this world belongs to all of us. We must protect the environment.
මිනිස්සු සහ සියලු සත්වයා ජීවත් කරවීම සඳහායි මේ කටයුතු කරා.
In a story that made the headlines today, 328 animals belonging to the Department of National Zoological Gardens had died within 2 years of 2016 and 2017. This was revealed in a report titled Utilization of the Zoological Development and Welfare Fund for the Benefit of Animals, issued by the Auditor General's Department.
Accordingly, the lack of quarantine facilities to animals, diseases and other related causes, instances where medical instructions were not followed when animals were transferred from one place to another, failure to treat elephants and tuskers on a regular basis, non-availability of animal crushers and failure to provide proper medication were the main reasons for the 328 animal deaths. Moreover, an issue pertaining to animal and employee welfare had arisen due to the detention of 18 elephants in the Pinnavala Elephant Orphanage following a court order. It was revealed sufficient protection for employees was not in place due to the unavailability of proper cages for the elephants. Audit observations reveal the Code of Ethics and Law issued by the World Animal and Aquarium Association were not followed when transferring 29 animals from the Dehiwala Zoo to other zoos. The report adds, 2 flying squirrels brought to the Dehiwala Zoo from the Hambantota Safari Park died within 2 months. It adds, feces of the rhinoceros not appropriately disposed had mixed with its food, resulting in the animal to fall victim to a fatal diseased condition. The report adds, until date, the department was unable to explain what had happened to the untraceable animals. Audit observations reveal the wall of the Lion Island was cracked and was not repaired even up to the 9th of June 2018. The report adds it was insecure for visitors to watch lions. The report adds, as per the Environment Safety License issued for the year 2017-2018 for the operations of the Dehiwala Zoological Garden by the Central Environmental Authority, wastewater disposed from the zoo was discharged to a stone quarry, affecting the public health of the surrounding area. Newsfirst inquired about this matter from the Director General of the Dehiwala Zoo, Dhammika Masingha. She said she cannot accept the facts revealed in the respective report. She added the department is committed towards the welfare and protection of the animals.
Former Minister and founder of the Pathfinder Foundation, Milinda Moragoda, has called on all 35 presidential candidates to address the aging time bomb which is facing Sri Lanka today.
In a note to the presidential candidates, Milinda Moragoda points out that today around 13.9% or 3 million over 60s make up the 20.96 million people living in Sri Lanka. At current estimates, that figure will rise to 28.6% by 2050, which, based on present population levels, will mean around 5.9 million pensioners who will need looking after. Moragoda notes no one seems to be addressing these problems, and yet they are vital to the security of our economy. He questions, as the working population shrinks as a percentage of the overall population, where are the taxes going to come from to build more hospitals, provide more care for the elderly, and yet keep the country functioning? While Moragoda has raised several questions from the presidential candidates, he concludes, and I quote, The youth of the country are important, especially because they are the workforce of tomorrow. But our senior citizens are extremely important as the time bomb ticks, unquote.
And with that, wrap up news for tonight. Do take care.